Ready?
Ready.
He said give him 5 minutes. Does that, Bob, are we ready? Do you know? Yeah, okay. All right. Call to meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Any persons wishing to address the board? Vicki, I didn't see any for non-agenda or agenda items. We'll move on to item 5, approval of minutes of the meeting held on January 9th, 2023. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. And on to item 6, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. We didn't have any new conflicts of interest. So moving on to item 8, approval of consent agenda. Could I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes. And on to the reports of the president. Item A, academic program update, construction management. Yes, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was going to.
Oh,
President Sarah Bentz and members of the board, this is Matt Haynes, one of our faculty in the construction management program.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Construction management, Southeast Tech, program update. For the last 4 semesters of coursework, we've been continuing to increase our enrollment. Our construction, we offer a couple different, there's a 2-year associate's degree program, and then we also offer some 1-year certificates. The 1-year certificates are your general construction certificate, your residential construction certificate, and the commercial construction certificate. Our enrollment for the past, I'd say 4 years has continually increased. Some of the numbers there are, we've been trying to open up to area high schools with our dual credit program. So the highlights of our program, we are engaging hands-on in the trenches learning program. I just actually ran from lab and had paint all over my hands. So teaching them how to finish different woodwork today, a lot of trim and casing of windows and doors. Students apply their new knowledge and solve real world problems. So. Here's a picture here of last year. We did the excavation. We were a partner with Habitat for Humanity. We did the excavation and the footing frame on the left, and then the structure on the right was actually a cement concrete house. It's called an ICF house, which is made out of insulated concrete forms. Has a really high R value, very, very energy efficient. Habitat does a great job of having the latest and greatest efficiencies, and the students learn a lot from that. So we also try to, Habitat doesn't always let us do roofs because of insurance reasons. So we do a shed a lot of times so they get an opportunity to learn how to shingle, how to side, and other techniques that they don't always get with Habitat. So. Like I talked about earlier, West Central joined last year for our dual credit program. We've been working with McCrossins in Harrisburg in previous years. Brandon Valley looks to join. Sioux Falls has also been joined with the CTE. So, just a couple pictures from the dual credit, the McCrossins partnership. This gentleman here, he's making a Native American bass drum. Has a lot of detailed measurements that have to be exact, and calculations are pretty complex. He really took pride and ownership like to give the students an opportunity to like take ownership on a couple of their own personal projects as well as the regular curriculums. Another picture with the new Harrisburg facility. This was for, I guess, the Sioux Falls revitalization project, but Habitat for Humanity eventually took over this house and it will be moved onto a foundation. So, footings to finish. The students take pride. They develop a sense of community working with Habitat in this curriculum. I think it's important because it, especially for the co-curricular aspect, it really mends learning with all phases of life. So that's all I have for the presentation. So
Thank you.
So,
any questions?
you don't mind? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Question.
Yes, I was about to say, any questions?
So I saw they're pouring concrete, putting up walls, and like you said, framing windows, whatever, so they don't get anything on electrical or plumbing.
I provide some opportunities. I teach them how to do PEX, and because that's kind of the main thing we're kind of running into, just how to tee in a plumbing line. We run some home runs. We don't do a lot of the work with the actual hooking up to the hot panel or anything, but we do some home runs where they and go over some different codes that they need to be safe of, or some safety things that they need to make sure that the circuit's off, stuff like that. But
Well, good.
yeah, but
How many, in this program, I would assume that the builders would love you to double it and triple it. What could be the highest capacity you think you could teach?
we are full for next fall already. With new ones, maybe with some more help, we could definitely increase our capacity. I think we're at 30, usually 30, but we actually take up to 36 every fall, seems like. And then sometimes that dwindles down because a lot of students join the workforce right away. And so.
Yeah, I just, not every student excels sitting in a classroom listening to somebody talk.
Yeah.
And so I love that the opportunity for kids or students, adults, whoever, to use their hands right away. And I think that's engaging to people who don't like the classroom atmosphere, and that's not for them. And so I think that's an awesome opportunity for people. I also think living in the Midwest lately, we've had how many different tornadoes and storms, and so there's so many different opportunities. Not just you have to build a house, but you could do, like you had mentioned, roofing, or building small projects, or maybe they have an interest of their own. And so what a great, maybe even future business owner or something like that too, that they would have the opportunity to do with their unique skills. And then, as you mentioned, just the partnership with Habitat is great to connect them to their community, and what a huge help to Habitat, but also what a huge opportunity to actually get to do those real world things and not have to be practicing in some lab that's not going to transfer exactly to what they do. So just another example of a really great program at Southeast Tech that continues to grow and engage people and really help our community as a whole too. So thank you.
Sure.
It's so easy to swoon over our building permits and being at record-breaking numbers, but you understand the day in and the day out of what it takes to train these students to go off into the world. As many technological advances that we have in construction, it still is labor intensive, and it takes hands and real people doing the job day in and day out. And keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the academic program update, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. On to item B, Adult Education and Literacy Program Report.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Keys. I'm the Director of the Adult Education and Literacy Program at Southeast Tech. In the Adult Education and Literacy Program, we offer GED prep, adult basic education, and English as a second language instruction. We offer instruction in all 4 areas of the GED. We offer the GED Ready at no cost to the student, which is a practice test so students can determine if they're ready to go on and take the official test. And then GED testing is offered on-site at the testing center. Adult basic education, we offer basically brush up in reading, math, and writing to help students build skills for entrance into post-secondary education or maybe into the workforce. Our classes are teacher-led and independent group teacher-facilitated instruction, which is actually students' test. So we have their individual test scores, and then we have their goals, and each student has their own individualized lesson plan based on what they need to learn to get to their goal. There are always teachers there to facilitate that instruction, to answer questions, to give mini lessons, whatever the students need to be successful. And then we offer English as a second language instruction. Again, those 2 modes of instruction, and then we offer all levels of ESL as well. The next couple slides are just some demographics for our program. On this slide, we have the ethnicity and the age breakdown. And if you look at the age, you can see the majority of our students are that age that would be into the employment. 18 to 44 is where the majority of our students fall. And then looking at more demographics, gender, that is usually about 50-50. These are last year's stats, so I'm not sure what happened, but I'm guessing the aftermath of COVID and the unemployment rate had something to do with that discrepancy. And then for our employment status, over half of our students are employed. When they come to us, about 30% or a third of our students are actively seeking employment. These are just a few of the countries that our students come from. We have a very diverse population, which the Sioux Falls School District does as well. This is just some data. We have targets that we are encouraged to meet as far as skill gains with our students. This chart right here, the green is for ESL, the blue is for the adult basic education or GED students, and then the yellow is the aggregate. And I've taken the last 5 years and compared Southeast Tech's skill gains to the state's rates. We've got a great group of teachers out there, so fortunately we have been able to meet or exceed the state's performance. This chart, so the last chart that we looked at was all students, regardless if they completed the program or not. This chart that you're looking at right here are those students who have pre-tested and they have committed to 46 to 60 hours of instruction or more, and then they have stuck around for a post-test. So what we do helps them gain skills is just to get them convinced to stick with us long enough for it to work. In 1920, we jumped both feet head first into distance education. We have fortunately been able to develop that and make it something that's very flexible for our students. We work with 3 different providers and offer 4 different levels of instruction. We have a teacher, and then I also work with our distance ed students. We touch base with them regularly via email or phone calls. They're welcome to come in anytime they need help with topics. And then this is just another chart looking at those metrics for the distance education program. The state also has a distance education program, so within the state, it's that program and then our program. And then Southeast Tech's gains are the green, state's blue, and then the target is the yellow. In 2018-19, we developed the Aspire to Tech program, and that program was developed with the intent of helping those students who aren't quite prepared for post-secondary just over that bump so they could be successful. So what they do, or what we do in that program, is we work on basic skills. That's really the intent, is to increase those reading and writing and math skills. But we do that within content-specific curriculum. Our target audience is those individuals who are reading at a grade equivalent of 4 to 7. And then we have the Intro to Healthcare, Intro to Business, Intro to Childcare, and Intro to General Industry Safety developed. And under each of those bullets, you can see the topics that we cover. In December of 2021, we were approached by the State Department of Labor looking for a way to better bridge adults into entry-level positions within healthcare. So we looked at the Aspire to Tech program that we already had developed. That was too much. It was too hard. So we looked at different materials and different outcomes that we would want this program to have. So we decided to target those individuals who were at a 2nd to 4th grade equivalent in reading. And we just cover really from cells to body systems and basic anatomy. And then we work on exploration of occupations within healthcare. We toured Sanford with our first pilot, which we'll be wrapping up here in a couple weeks. And we bring in guest speakers and then also offer some of that soft skills training. Just to highlight a few of the partnerships that we have with agencies here in the area. We work closely with the Department of Labor and Regulation local office. We refer clients to them for job search, resume writing, interview skills, on-the-job trainings, you know, kind of whatever they're looking for to help them get into that employment. And then they in turn refer to us for GED prep or brush up. We actually have local office reps on campus twice a week or twice a month in our program to meet with our clients because transportation is an issue. And then of course, we're housed at Southeast Tech, so we have a great partnership with Southeast Tech. We try so hard to get all of our GED completers over to admissions to at least explore what's out there, whether they choose to continue at Southeast Tech or somewhere else. We also teach the ELA 092-093 class, and that is a class for students to improve their writing skills so they can be accepted into a credit-bearing English class. Southeast Tech, we're right across the hall from admissions. If they have somebody who maybe doesn't meet the threshold to be accepted into a program, they'll walk them right across the hall and we'll set up an appointment and hopefully be able to help them upskill. Oh, and then the foundation so generously purchased some official GED test vouchers for our students. Oftentimes that $37.50 for a sub-test is such a hardship. I mean, if they pay for that test, they're not going to work next week because they don't have gas money. So that's a huge opportunity for our students. We have just started working with St. Francis House to offer GED prep to their guests. We are available to go on site and offer GED orientation and then the initial testing. And then students have the option to come to Southeast Tech and do the classes in person, or they can enroll in our distance ed program. And St. Francis House has, excuse me, a computer lab, and then they brought in retired teachers to come in and help facilitate that learning out there. And then up until October, November, we were teaching evening classes twice a week, a multi-level ESL class at the Multicultural Center. Now the Multicultural Center has merged with Lutheran Social Services, so we're still kind of working out what that partnership looks like, but we still refer students to the Workforce Development Program. We are funded through federal funds and state general funds, and our granting agency is the South Dakota Department of Labor. We are 100% grant funded, so there is no cost for the student to use our program except for the cost of the GED test, and then we've got those vouchers if that's a hardship. Staffing. We have a fantastic group of teachers out there. We each have our own primary role, but we really all work together to serve the needs of the students. And that is all I have. Do you have any questions?
Distance learning, are they mostly Sioux Falls residents, but they're just like, because of family or job, they do it online? Is that?
Yep, most of them are from Sioux Falls. We have a few from Lenox. We've got some from Del Rapids. So we've got a few that come in, but for the most part, most of our students are right from Sioux Falls.
Well, this is truly one of the best examples of putting hopes and dreams into action and allowing people to really take accountability for what they want to do out into the world, and to know it's never too late. So we all do better when we all do better.
Exactly.
Do you, how well known do you think the program is? Do you think that people know that it's available? Is there more capacity for additional students? I'm just thinking, you know, I don't know how many people, I've heard of it, but I don't know that the general population of people outside of like these partnerships and organizations that you're working with know that there are resources like that are available and for free. I mean, I think that's the big thing, is that it's not a financial, aside from maybe transportation or something like that, but really, I mean, the content that's offered for free is amazing. And so I'm just curious what your perception of it is.
I think, so one of the questions on our intake form is, how did you hear about us? Many of them write research or a friend. So as far as us really being out there and over 50% of the people knowing we're there, probably not.
Sure. And do you feel like, from a capacity perspective, from the funding that you have, do you feel like you're where it would be a stretch to take on another 25 or another 50 students, or you feel like, come on in, like, we got room?
Yeah, I mean, right now, after COVID, we are serving about, 250 to 350 students that walk through our door. Before that, we were at 400 to 600.
Okay.
So we definitely have room.
Sure. I'm just curious, like, what other avenues would there be to spread the word? I mean, I think your partnerships are awesome, and the location of your office to admissions is perfect, because those students, you don't want them to leave discouraged. It's like, hey, this isn't going to work right now, but here's what we can do to help you make it work. So I think that's great. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, you know, who else could we reach out to that might be good candidates? You know, do we have parents of students in our district who, you know, don't feel like they have the skills to be able to do that? And how could we, you know, is your information offered in multiple languages?
It has been, it currently is not.
Okay. So that could be a barrier to some people as far as just knowing about it.
And just marketing alone costs
Yeah.
extra dollars, so how that would be built in the budget. But right, some more creative ways,
Yeah.
for example, the school district sending out, it's a good thought.
Our school liaison counselors with the students would be great.
Yeah. Do you work with counselor, like even elementary school or middle school or high school counselors?
I have worked with the ESL liaisons,
Okay.
but not a lot.
Or social workers, or, you know, I think there's a lot of just food for thought, you know, different partnerships to think about that might generate some new families that are able to benefit from the amazing services that you guys are providing. Good information. Thank you.
And great,
you.
the data you provided and how successful you've been with your students. Thank you. It's great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. Seeing no other conversation, can I get a motion and a second to approve the Adult Education and Literacy Program of report?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. On to item C, Wings of Valor Veterans Project Report.
Thank you. I'm Jason Merritt, the intern dean of trades at Southeast Tech. And I just wanted to give a little report on a project that we did that worked with a number of area organizations and 4 of our programs within trades to help an organization called Wings of Valor. And so I was approached by Captain Paul Blackman, who is the Veterans and Military Affairs person for Sanford, and he's also on the Military Heritage Alliance, also known as the Alliance here in town. He's the board of directors for that. And they had a old bus there, and it had been there for years, hadn't been run. Somebody had tried to steal it and broke the column in the window, and but he saw a need with this organization, Wings of Valor. So Wings of Valor has a lodge by Parker, and they take several hundred veterans, normally disabled or PTSD, to help them go on a hunt. And they didn't really have a way to get people from the lodge out to the hunting areas. And in fact, what they were doing is that trailer there on the left there is they were wheeling them up on that and strapping them down and towing them around. So he asked if we could help get that bus running and get it in a way that it can be used for that organization. And in fact, with the help of several organizations and 4 of our programs, we were able to do that. You can see there the towing company to give All-American Towing. They did the tow for free. Sanford sent out their news crew and documented the process the entire way. And so they'll be creating a news release and a report on that, which will have full editing and release things before it would be released. But that was pretty neat. They came, this was a 1.5-year long project, and they came a number of times and documented the whole thing. R&R Mobility is a company in T that does wheelchair lifts, and they were very helpful with us in technical and parts and things like that to get the wheelchair lift going. And once we got it to the automotive, we got it going. So with special recognition to our faculty member, Josh Garcia, who's also a veteran in the automotive department, and a number of students throughout a number of different times that came back and forth. It was quite a thing to get something going after it hasn't been run in years. So they did a number of things to get it actually physically running. And then we had to work on the rust in our collision repair program, and our faculty member, Dana Davis, helped head that part up. And again, with student involvement, students did all the work on it. But you can see on the left, that's the step, and your foot would go right through it. And the driver's was basically Fred Flintstone kind of look there. So it had to have an all-new floor and a lot of repairs to get it to that. After that, it went to our painting area of our collision repair and finishing, and it got painted again by students, and that was kind of neat. I have some after, that's the primer there, so it wasn't gray when it was done, but it was a beautiful green, a military green. Then we had to get to the wheelchair lift, and on the left is what the floor looked like when we removed the old one. The wheelchair lift was inoperable, and they were able to locate one used for us out of a field somewhere, and that's where R&R Mobility played a role. Our diesel program in our heavy equipment, special thanks to the faculty member Adam Anderson, who worked with students and with R&R Mobility to first get the wheelchair lift out, and then it went over to our welding department. They had to put in an all-new floor and all-new bracing. Our faculty member, who is also a veteran, Dennis Howard, headed that up with the students. And you can see we got a floor in there and got it operational. And in the end, there was a presentation where it was presented by the Alliance to the Wings of Valor. And there's a little look at the final project there and the presentation that we did. Very proud to be a part of this. This had a year and a half worth, and I'd say nearly 50 students involved with this from multiple different programs. And so I'm very thankful we could take part in this.
Thank you.
And hopefully now it's in a garage somewhere,
Yeah.
protected.
It's not going to happen for that. So, yeah. And
Talk to that construction guy that just talked to us.
Kid.
Build a shed.
Out at Parker.
they really need that because, you know, it's no matter what you do, that is still a 1986 bus with a carburetor. Yeah, it's going to be
Very
probably
awesome.
pretty cold blooded.
Well, great project and what neat partnerships.
I love that so many of our instructors or faculty members were veterans that got to really pour some of their, you know, expertise and maybe a little hand of love, and you know, into something that's going to help other veterans as well. So,
Well, you know, the school has a real focus on being veteran friendly, and as a matter of fact, there may be some things that our group of our veteran students can go out and volunteer at this, because it's all volunteer at the Wings of Valor. And we're also looking at working with the Veterans Tiny Homes Project so that we might be able to at least work. We're working on maybe the one that they take around and show off to everybody that's on a trailer. And so
Sure.
we're looking at some of those.
the
other-
spec home.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, very cool.
Spec, two spec,
Yeah.
one spec, spec, tiny spec.
Yes.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
always
Yes,
wonderful
great job.
seeing examples of this and our teams coming together and working together to put something so important back in the community. So thank you. All right, can I get a motion and a second to approve the Wings of Valor Veterans Project Report?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. And on to the Southeast Tech Additional Locations Report.
President Sarah Betts, members of the board, my name is Kristen Posale. I'm the Dean of Curriculum Instruction for Health, and I've been asked to present the report on the additional location. So in October of 2022, Southeast Tech submitted an additional location request to the Higher Learning Commission to add the CTE Academy and Harrisburg High School as additional locations. Southeast Tech has received approval from HLC to add CTE Academy and Harrisburg High School as additional locations. This allows students to complete a full academic program at those locations without having to attend class at Southeast Tech's main campus. Any questions?
Which programs is it for? Just the healthcare?
The Harrisburg is the construction.
That's what I
yes.
thought, so, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're confusing me with the healthcare. Is that, that's why?
Yeah, oh yes, I'm here presenting
Yeah.
because Dr. Valdez is actually at school out at Black Hills State right now. So he asked me to present, yeah.
Okay.
And we are, of course, working with other high schools to continue adding locations.
Great.
It's a win for accessibility.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
huge for a lot of people.
Safe
so-
transportation.
Mhm.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion and a second to approve the SCC Additional Location Report?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. And on to the second reading of the policies listed. I can take okay. These were already out for first reading, so this is just a second reading. In an effort to keep the school board policy books updated, members of the administration, Southeast Tech Policy Review Committee continually review the policies and regulations for items that need to be added, deleted, revised, or in some cases to update the language. So these policies have been out there for a month, I believe. First reading was last month, thank you.
Actually, 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months, 2 months, that's right, because we had to cancel our last meeting. So unless you have any other,
No
I would
feedback
move-
received from anything.
No additional comments.
nope.
Okay.
So I would move to approve, or I guess I would ask for a motion and a second to approve the policies, the second reading of the policies.
So moved.
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes. She likes something.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to take a minute to also recognize Jason Merritt for his good work, not only with Wings of Valor. He's been the lead on that program for quite a while, but also the lead in our Department of Corrections welding pilot. He's been pretty heavily involved in the Habitat for Humanity project. So a number of projects where Southeast Tech is, I think, certainly meeting our mission and doing our best to be a valued member of the community. I also wanted to bring your attention to a recognition that a couple of our faculty received just 2 weeks ago here in January, and that would be Rod Breitling, who is a longtime faculty member for our Land Survey and Science program. Rod was selected as the Land Surveyor of the Year at the annual South Dakota Society of Professional Land Surveyors conference. So that's quite an honor, quite a distinction for him, and certainly well-deserved. And then also Chad Martinson is an adjunct instructor for us in that program that's out working in industry, and he has picked up a couple of courses for us, and he received the Outstanding Contribution to the Land Surveying Profession. So Southeast Tech was really well represented within that organization, and we are doing our best to replace Rod. Rod has indicated his desire to retire, and we're doing our best to keep him around, but I think we will find someone to step in that very, very important program. And the last thing I wanted to do was just recognize our admissions enrollment management and all of our faculty and staff at Southeast. I think you saw our spring enrollment numbers, so really positive in terms of uptick in terms of credits. We were up 4.4%, I believe, in credit generation over last spring, and then 6% in headcount. So it's nice to see, those numbers coming back, and that doesn't happen without a lot of hard work on the part of our faculty, staff, and admissions, enrollment management. Very much a team effort there, and I want to thank them. A number of individuals that would normally be here are also working on our assurance argument. So our next monthly meeting will update you on our fast approaching comprehensive visit. So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, anything else for good of the order? All right, can I get a motion and a second to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.